Hello TL Travelers, and welcome back to the TL Travel YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome to the family. Right now we are actually kind of at the tail end of our South America recap series. We have been all over the place this summer chatting about our trip through Argentina and Chile and Uruguay, and we spent some time in the Bolivian Amazon, so on and so forth. There's just like a ton of videos. So if you're planning a trip to South America, or even if you're just looking for some entertainment, there is a ton of other videos here for you to check out as well. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the Galapagos Islands and how we chose to visit, how you can visit, some tips and tricks for visiting, and yeah. That's really the scoop. So in Ecuador, you can get to the Galapagos, fly to the Galapagos from two destinations, two airports. So you can fly from Quito, or you can fly from Guayaquil. That's how I'm gonna say it. My pronunciation currently is like not great, so I'll write it as well. If you are coming from outside of the country, or like from the States, for example, you're probably gonna fly into Quito anyway. So that would be where you would book your flight from. But if you are traveling by land, especially for us, we were coming from Peru, we just went as far as Guayaquil and then booked our flights from there, because that's actually where the Quito's flights will stop over anyways on their way to the islands. So not only do you save yourself a stop, but generally the ticket's gonna be a little bit cheaper from there if it's convenient for you to get there. We also chose, for budget purposes and really just like for the convenience of our 6-month tour, to travel during the shoulder season. But if you are choosing to go for the diving specifically, which I know that a lot of people are, June to November is basically gonna be like that hot time for you to get out and do some good diving. So we chose a flight to Baltra as our gateway to the Galapagos. We flew into Baltra Island, which is its own like airport little area, and then took a ferry to Puerto Ayora, which is where we started our trip, and then we visited 3 islands while we were there. Now, island hopping is for sure gonna be the way to go if you have the time to do it. Each island is very different and offers different things, so we found that changing islands really gave us like a really good idea of what the Galapagos were like as a whole, and gave us all of those experiences that we were looking for. You can get from island to island by ferry, as well as there are flights from different islands. We did a ferry for one, and we did a flight for one. Definitely, if you have the budget to fly, it's so much easier and just so much quicker. But I will give you a forewarning, these flights, when I say fly, I'm talking like 3-4 seater with your luggage. So like, this isn't a big flight. If you're not cool with small flights, then boat, ferry might be the way to go. So as I said, we flew into Baltra and took the ferry over to Puerto Ayora, which is on the island of Santa Cruz. And Santa Cruz is going to be the first island that I tell you guys a little bit about. The most popular draw to Santa Cruz is the Charles Darwin Foundation and that whole center. That is what people go there to see. And if you are like us and are just so excited to see those like massive old turtles, it sounds so random to say that, but that's what we wanted to see. That is where you're gonna be doing that. Santa Cruz also has Tortuga Bay Beach, which is another popular tourist destination. The second is the island of Isabella, and from Santa Cruz to Isabella, the flight I believe is about 30 minutes. And Isabella is the largest of all the islands. It's made up of, I believe, 5 volcanoes, inactive volcanoes, to be clear. Isabella is also another island that is like teeming with cool wildlife. That's where we spent the most time with like sea lions and penguins, and it was just so cool. And I think really the coolest thing about the Galapagos in general is that like, you're not going to see these animals in like a contained space or some sort of like habitat situation, with the exception obviously of the like Charles Darwin Foundation, like that whole situation. But like with the sea lions and the penguins, they're just like out there living their best wild lives, and it was just so cool. then the third island that we went to visit was San Cristobal, and the flight for that one is about 40 minutes, so just a little bit longer. Again, like small seaplane style flight, and it also has like more of a laid back situation. There's a really nice little seaport there where they have like the fish market, and then like the sea lions and stuff will hang out around there as well. Like full disclosure, if you're looking for accommodations, maybe like scoot just a little bit further than the town center, because there for sure is that like fish / sea lion scent around. But honestly, like really cool island to visit. We were really grateful that we could do that, and we did some swimming with sea lions there as well, and just like all around really enjoyed the whole wildlife situation. We also looked into doing some diving from there because there are a couple of good dive shops off of that island, but the time of year that we were there was not the clearest waters because it was their hot rainy season, so the clarity wasn't great. We had heard some mixed reviews from other travelers who were diving at the time, and I will go out and I'll just put it out there, the diving in the Galapagos is going to be more expensive than you would pay normally when you are traveling and diving. So if you are going to spend that kind of money for some dives, you really want that clarity to be there. So we chose not to dive, and it's actually not, I mean, I don't regret it. We had some amazing snorkeling and just like swimming experiences with wildlife. You get so much just even like on the surface before you get into the water. So we still had an amazing wildlife experience. Would we go back and do some diving in like the ideal season ever in our lives? Sure, but it wasn't like a make or break for us. So that's just something to consider. If it's going to make or break your trip, you want to make sure that you are traveling in the right season for diving. All that said though, that is just a brief overview of the islands that we visited while we were there, all that you can, you know, see and do while you're there, and then of course how to get from one place to another. And this, you know, most ideal season for you to travel. If you have been and you have anything to add, I would love for you to drop it in the comments down below. And if you've never been but you have any questions, just feel free to let me know, comments, DM, anything like that. And if we do need to go into greater detail on each individual island, I would be happy to do that as well. We'll just sort of like see how that plays out. Otherwise, this series is actually coming to a quick end, which is crazy. I feel like we just got started, but yeah, we have one more video to share with you guys, I believe. Yeah, one more video to share with you guys where we wrap all of this up, talk about our favorites from South America in general, the top tips, budget, all of that kind of stuff that we hope will help you guys in planning your next adventure. And yeah, then we're gonna be jumping into some new content. So until I see you guys for the wrap up of this series, stay great and stay safe. And thank you guys all so much who have been following along. It's been great to have you along for the adventure, and can't wait to see where we go next. Bye guys.